Hands down. We're gonna try to make more space, but you have to be quiet and listen. Right now, second grade's fine. I see more space right there, so second grade scoot in. That's Archivado's line. Scoot up. I'm kidding, they were the best behaved. All right, give me 5. And down. Attention. First, welcome to what is called the Shapiro Project, okay? This is a jazz quartet today. As you can see, these are live musicians, all right? People who have studied music their whole life and have never stopped. It's an amazing thing, okay? Also, I want to say too, because it was kind of funny, I was looking them up online, and I wanted to see, you know, what they've done, and they have a lot of accomplishments, okay? They played all over Las Vegas. They've performed probably with famous people I don't even want to mention, but one of the most famous people they've worked with is my friend right there, Brian. We went to high school together in that crazy small music world. Can I get a cheer for Brian? I love all the musicians, but that's my friend. I have to shout him out, okay? And listen. I was listening earlier. They do wonderful things. They're educating us more on music. That's why I brought them here. Who knows the 5 standards of music? Okay, let's go. We got what? Melody, rhythm, harmony, form, expressive qualities. When you're listening to them, they will do all of that and then some. But let me go over some etiquette rules. If you are a distraction, that is a no, okay? There is no playing with toys right now. There's no talking. You are focused and listening. Understand? Yeah. All right. We are. Good. So, and listen, the last assembly was very well behaved. They're just so polite. They don't even know when to clap for a solo. So I apologize for that. They're so attentive. They don't even know how to clap for a jazz solo. I don't know how to teach that, but we'll work it. Okay. All right. 2 and 4 is more important, that's what I thought. And let me say one more thing, okay, because I'm obligated to say this, and then we'll get started. We are so happy to have the Shapiro Project perform with us today. This is made possible by the education and outreach team of the Smith Center for the Performing Arts. All right, can I get a cheer? Yeah! Put your hands together for the Shapiro Project!
How are you doing? Good. Awesome. Well, we are very happy to be here. We're called the Shapiro Project. We want to thank the Smith Center for giving us this opportunity to come to your school and to talk to you a little bit about jazz, which is called an original American art form, because this music is uniquely American. It was born in this country, and it's a form of art, which means that we have to do our best and practice and play for you, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to show you how to listen to jazz and to music in general and how to have fun doing so. Before we start, I want to introduce the members of the band, and please clap when you hear their names. We're going to start with Mr. Lance on trumpet, and we've got Mr. Brian on keyboard, and right behind me, Mr. Boris on drums, and my name is Mr. Eugene, and I play the guitar. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so before we talk about jazz and how this band works, let's talk about music in general. When you listen to music, there are two things that are very important. One is called the melody, and one is called the rhythm. Everybody knows melodies because typically that's how we remember our favorite songs. So for example, if I played something for you that you know, you would recognize it most likely because you know the melody. In fact, let's try that. I'm going to play a little bit of something and see if you guys know what it is. Does anybody know what that is? Mm-hmm. What is it? It's called lullaby. Very good. And you know it because you know the melody. But actually, in music, the rhythms are more important than the melodies. The rhythms indicate how long each note lasts. And so if I didn't know the rhythms to lullaby, I would only be able to play the first note, and I would not be able to go on because I wouldn't know when to play the next one. So actually in music, the rhythm is more important than the melody. To show you that, I'm going to ask Mr. Boris to play just the rhythms to lullaby. Mr. Boris plays the drum set, and you don't play the actual notes, but you play the rhythms. And it's going to sound like this. It'll still sound like lullaby, just like this. See, it still sounds like lullaby even though no notes were played, but the rhythms are right there to remind you of how it sounds. So that's the first thing I want you to remember. The rhythms are more important than melodies. Let's talk about those rhythms. We have two things that we can identify when we listen to rhythms. One is called accents, and the other one is called breaths. So accents in music is when you put stress on one note versus a different note, for example, like this. So these are accents, and the rest, of course, is when you stop playing, just like this. So we organize those accents and rests into something we call a meter. Can you guys say meter? Yeah! Fantastic. And so in music, we have even meters and odd meters. Even meters is when we count to 4, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. So these are even meters. And then we also have odd meters. And of course, odd meters is when we count to 3, like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, just like this. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1. Okay, so that's what we have. Even meters, when we count to 4. Odd meters is when we count to 3. And we travel through the meter by way of measures. Can you guys say measures? Measures. And they're also called bars. You can say measures, you can say bars, it's the same thing. And measures become a point of reference for us, the musicians. They tell us where we are. keep that in mind. We're going to come back to measures a little bit later. And then also the speed of beats and rests is called a tempo. Can you guys say tempo? Tempo. And of course, there are many different tempos in music. Slow tempos like lullaby, medium tempos, or fast tempos like the first song we played for you. Okay, so now that you know a little bit about how a rhythm works, we're going to talk specifically about this band here. It's a jazz band. We have 4 musicians on stage. We actually have 5 different instruments because Mr. Lance also plays a flugelhorn, and you're going to hear him play it a little bit later. But we just said that the rhythms are more important than melodies. So take a look at the instruments we have on stage. Which instrument do you think is mostly responsible for playing those rhythms, those beats? Can anybody tell me? Go ahead, try it. Yeah.
The guitar?
The guitar is very important. I want to argue with you because I play it, and I do think it's the most important instrument, but it's not the most important when it comes to the rhythms. Go ahead.
A drum?
Yeah, that's right, very good. A drum set in a jazz band is a centerpiece of what we call a rhythm section. And rhythm section also consists of bass, which we don't have here, but Mr. Brian plays bass in his left hand, and then piano, or keyboards, and guitar. So we're going to show you how a jazz rhythm section works. And we're going to start with a jazz drummer who plays something called riding a cymbal, just like this. And then he will also crash it sometimes, just like this. Next comes the bass. And what the bass does is called walking the bass. And the drums and bass work together to make a powerful team. And when the bass and drums play together like this, it's called swinging. And swing is also a basic rhythm of jazz music. And then we're going to add the other 2 instruments of the rhythm section, the piano, keyboards, and guitar. And what they do, they play groups of notes called chords on top of what the bass and drums do, just like this. So that is how a jazz rhythm section works. Okay? So now we talked a little bit about it. We're going to play some more. We're not just going to talk this morning. We're going to play for you. And so here's another song that you will probably recognize because you know a melody, and it's called Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. Do you guys know that one? All right. So here's our jazz version of Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star. All right. Thank you very much. Now, the next thing we're going to show you is how to have fun when you listen to jazz. And what you do is that you clap when you listen to a cool song that you like. Now, in jazz, we clap on 2 and 4, and we call it a backbeat. Can you guys say backbeat? Backbeat. Okay, so we're going to show you that. Here's how it works. Ready? Very cool. So now you know what to do. That's how you clap. Now we're going to go back to showing you how other instruments work in a jazz band. So we talked about the rhythm section. We're going to talk about solo instruments such as trumpets, flugelhorns, and other instruments that are very common to jazz, such as saxophones and trombones. They can do two things. First, they can play melodies. And again, melodies is usually what you recognize when you listen to a song. And then they can also play improvisation, which is something they make up as they go. And that is one of the coolest parts of jazz for both the musicians and the listeners. It is basically something that you do without any preparation. You practice at home, and then you come and you play whatever you feel like. How cool is that? So we're going to start with showing you how trumpet sounds versus the flugelhorn. So we're going to ask Mr. Lance to play a melody on the trumpet. And now we're going to ask him to play on the flugelhorn so you can hear a difference in the sound. Here's how a flugelhorn sounds. So hopefully you can hear that flugelhorn sounds different. It sounds a little bit warmer and darker and a little bit more mellow. Now we're going to go back to the trumpet and we're going to show you something very cool that Mr. Lance uses. Trumpet players use these special devices called mutes. And so you've heard how trumpet sounds without the mutes. And now we're going to show you 4 different mutes. We're going to start with a cup mute. So here's how the trumpet with a cup mute sounds. And then the next mute is called a straight mute. It's going to sound a little different. Here's how it looks. Here's how it sounds. And then we're going to show you the next one. The next one is called a harmon mute. And that sound that you're going to hear is probably the most common sound when you hear a jazz trumpet player use a mute. And we're going to finish with something pretty interesting. See if you like this one. This is called a plunger mute. Yes, a plunger. Here's how this sounds. Pretty cool, huh? Excellent. So take a look right here, guys. Can you see this right here behind me? Excellent. So the next thing we're going to do, we're going to show you a very interesting form, a special form that we use in jazz. That is called an AABA form, and how the band uses it when we play. Before we do that, we're going to play another melody that you might recognize, but if not, I'm sure you teachers will, okay? So what I want you to do as we play this melody is to clap with me on 2 and 4 on the backbeat. Sounds good? Very good clapping. All right, so it's called Flintstones, if you didn't know, but it also happens to be a special form we use in jazz called an AABA form. And it's a form that has 32 bars with 32 measures. So remember I said earlier, we use bars and measures as a reference in music. As musicians, the measures tell us where we are. So this particular form has 4 different sections, as you can see. It's actually only 2, because you see the first A, and then the second A, and then there's another A at the end. So it's the same form, the same section repeated 3 times. But then there's a middle section right here, a B section called a bridge. Can you guys say bridge? Excellent. And so each of those sections is 8 measures long. So there's the first A, 8 measures, and then the second A, another 8 measures. Then that bridge I just told you about, 8 measures. And then you finish with the last A, which is also 8 measures. So here's what we can do now. I'm gonna ask my guys to play 1 section at a time, and you and I are gonna count to 8 to make sure that there are 8 measures in every section. Can you guys do that? Yeah. All right, let's try it. Here's the first section. You got it. So that's the first A. And then comes the second A section. It's going to sound exactly the same as the first one we just played. But you and I will still count to 8. Ready? Very good. So then comes the B section, the middle section, the bridge. And it will sound different from the first 2 but it'll still be 8 measures long. So we're gonna play the B section for you, and you and I will still count to 8. Ready? That. And then we finish with yet one more A section at the end, which will sound exactly the same as the first two. Very good, you guys did excellent. Okay, so now we're going to show you how we use this form when we play a song. And what we do is something called a chorus format. Can you guys say chorus? Chorus, fantastic. And chorus in jazz simply means playing that form one time through. So when I say chorus, you might be thinking, oh, it's a group of people singing. No, in jazz, it basically means playing that form one time through. For example, one chorus of Flintstones is 32 measures long. It has 4 different sections. Each section takes 8 measures. So we're gonna show you different types of choruses that we have in jazz. We actually just showed you one. It's called a melody chorus. What's that? It's a melody to a song. The next one is called a solo chorus. So again, if you remember I said earlier, we improvise in jazz, we make things up. And that is the most fun part for musicians and for listeners. So there could be, for example, a guitar solo chorus, an improvisation of guitar, just like this. Or there could be a trumpet solo chorus, an improvisation of the trumpet, just like this. And we're going to show you one more type of a chorus. This is called an ensemble chorus. Can you guys say ensemble? An ensemble chorus is actually something that is written out for musicians to play.
Line up.
All right, let's give him a bigger round of applause. You're being so polite. Come on.
Get
All right, can I get a
Stand right
cheer?
Brianna. Stay
You're
right
one of live musicians today. I'm so excited for you. And he touched on everything I was teaching you about melody, rhythm, form, harmony, expressive qualities, all that stuff, okay?
Flintstones. All right, thank you very much. Mr. Lance on trumpet and flugelhorn, Mr. Brian on keyboards, Mr. Boris on drums, my name is Mr. Eugene on guitar. Thank you guys for listening, enjoy the rest of your day, and keep listening to music. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Yes, we will keep listening to music, right? Listen, very, very talented musicians. Can I give them a cheer? And also too, listen, I'm so glad you saw that because we've been working on steady beat, and Mr. Lance over there, he's like doing the heartbeat. He's keeping that steady beat going. We're working on that. Before y'all go, Clyde and myself would like to give y'all this, a little gift card. Thank you for being here. They're busy people, guys, okay? They gotta practice a lot, they got gigs and a lot of things to do. So give them one more round of applause. And you know what? We're gonna hope to see you next year. I'm gonna try to book it, okay? All right.